another sad Sun Devil Saturday here on the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Anthony Totri, joined, as always, by Shawn DePaz. Shane Diefenbach is going to be joining us a little bit later from DFA to see what Bobby Hurley and company had to say. But, guys, it is officially time for another walk of shame because ASU basketball, the skid remains, man. The skid remains.
Well, like skid mark.
Yeah. They dropped the game against Oregon tonight, 75-70. And it was just another game where the offense was inefficient. It was a case of too little, too late. The boys didn't show up until the very end. And I feel like we had a reverse of what we've been used to seeing over the course of the last few games, right? Where we've seen maybe other guys step up, and DJ Horne has been the guy to really struggle to score. Tonight it was DJ Horne scoring in bunches and everybody else really not able to follow suit.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating that it doesn't seem like they can just ever put it together. Like every time one thing that has been going wrong starts going right, something else starts going wrong. It's kind of like it's like you're on a boat with a bunch of holes in it, and you have two hands and 2 feet. There are only so many holes you can plug at once.
Yeah,
and it's frustrating.
And now it's sinking.
Yeah, and now it's sinking. This team cannot afford, as we've seen, even with DJ playing well, cannot afford Dez to not show up, which is not fair to him, but it's just the reality of the situation. And it really sucks having only 2 guys or 3 guys scoring double digits. It sucks. The bench is still not doing enough. Shout out Lou though.
Yeah, mid-range Lou had a game,
but that comes with Dez not doing anything. So
yeah, it's again, you look at the pieces, right? You're like, man, if ASU could have got what Dez normally goes for, they win this game.
Yeah,
right. And the performance from the bench has been inconsistent as of late. DJ Horne's been inconsistent as of late. And you're like, okay, DJ started off early. You didn't know what you were going to get from Dez a little bit down the stretch just because he was struggling early in the first half. So when he started to make a couple buckets, you're like, oh, hold on now. They might actually pull this off. And then obviously the sequence at the end there, it's a 3-on-2. I want to say there's about 50 seconds left. They kick it out. Dez dribbling up, and he kicks it out to Lou. And Lou takes a contested 3, misses. Oregon gets the rebound. They push it, whatever. But that was an opportunity for, I believe, ASU, if Dez would have gone up for the layup and if it would have sank, I believe ASU would have taken a 1-point lead at that point. It's just tough. And again, you talk about the way that the games finish, right? They beat Oregon State a couple nights ago off of some phenomenal defense. And I'm pretty sure Oregon State didn't make a bucket or a field goal in their last 2 minutes and change. You look at it tonight, Oregon hit 5 of their last field goals. ASU was 0 of their last 4. That's just not a recipe for success, man.
No, not at all. To me, it's starting to feel like their success was chocolate chip cookies, which is to say, if you know anything about the history of chocolate chip cookies, it was completely by accident. Like there wasn't they didn't have the recipe for success. They just lucked into one, and it's starting to feel like that. Like I don't know if they had the recipe for success. They lost it somewhere. It was lost in a house fire or something. Not showing up at the last few minutes of the game is not a recipe for success. Having your best player only score 6 points, not a recipe for success.
In 31 minutes.
I'm sure we'll get to the numbers in a second, but never getting to the goddamn line is not a recipe for success, especially when the other team is doing it in bunches. Yeah. All of it was
painful.
It's not even painful. It's like just uncomfortable. It's sad and boring.
Let's get to the numbers of tonight's game. Obviously, the only one that matters. It's that final score, 75-70 in favor of the Ducks. You look at the two teams, how they shot tonight. The Ducks outshooting the Sun Devils 47% to ASU's 44%. Similar numbers from behind the arc, shooting a tad better for Oregon, 43% to ASU's 33%. This is a discrepancy right here that you were talking about, Shawn. It's those free throw numbers. Oregon attempted 26, made 18 of them. ASU just 8 of 10, and then turnovers almost even, 17 for the Ducks, 14 for the Sun Devils. But getting back to those free throw numbers, again, you look at if you look at the entirety of this game, you don't want to say that the game is won and lost because of the referees, but there has already been, in the last 15, 20, 25 minutes since this game ended, a lot to talk about in terms of the refs. People coming at him on Twitter. Bobby Hurley actually was asked about the refs, and this is what he had to say on the foul disparity tonight. Quote, "I don't want to say anything that will get me in more trouble, but it was a circus."
Yeah, I mean, these are the Pac-12 refs, so they do bad things. But also, like, this team doesn't deserve that benefit of the doubt anymore. This has happened all year. They never get to the line. Yeah. Sure, there were fouls today that were questionable, as there always are. But this team consistently struggles to get to the line, and only so much of that can be blamed on the refs. And when you look at those numbers in totality, with ASU being outshot from behind the arc, when this team a lot of times lives or dies by their ability to shoot three-pointers. If you're not hitting threes, you have to get to the line. You have to force the issue, and they did not do that either. And also, over these last 6 games, of which they've lost 5, how many times have they lost or won the turnover battle and lost the game? Because I feel like it's been a number of occasions.
Which doesn't make sense.
It does not make sense. His team is just
actually,
broken.
You know what? It does. It does make sense when you watch this team because of how inefficient they are offensively. And
True.
How inconsistent.
Yeah.
So you can win the turnover battle, but it's not going to matter if you're taking 3 bad shots, 4 bad shots. Like, it's just, this is what frustrates me. In like every year we get into this, right? And ASU fans understand this. They understand the way this team plays in conference play. Mm-hmm. And conference play is obviously different than non-conference play. The teams that ASU has to play night in and night out, you look at Oregon, USC, UCLA, Arizona, they're much tougher teams than they've scheduled in non-conference play. But the way that Bobby Hurley's teams have kind of functioned in conference play, it's never been the non-conference that has been the struggle for Bobby Hurley. Yeah. It's always been down the stretch, Pac-12 play, the team starts off strong and they fumble the bag. Mm-hmm. And this is what you've got right now. You've got a team that started off really hot. We knew that they took bad shots, but some of them were going in. Guess what? Now you're fumbling the bag again in conference play. And at this point, it's put up or shut up. We have, over the last couple of weeks, it's been give him a game, give him a game, give him a game. Panic meter is not full yet. Now, after you lose to Oregon, you've lost what? 4 of your last 5? Or 3 of your last 4?
5 of your last 6.
You've lost 5 of your last 6 games. Now you've got Stanford, Cal, Colorado, and Utah. At this point, if you would have beaten Oregon, I think you could have sacrificed the Utah game because we know Utah is a tough team. At this point, if you don't win those 4 games, you can kiss any chance of a March Madness bid. Goodbye.
Yeah, no, it's you have. I mean, you said it. They fumbled the bag. Like they had a conference bid, or they had a tournament bid in their hands. Whoa, now they had a tournament bid in their hands, and they just let it slip through their fingers. There's not much more you could say about it than that. It's just, yeah, it's very, very frustrating.
Well, yeah, it's more frustrating for me because I was a big dummy and I decided I was going to bet on ASU to win tonight. And obviously they didn't. So I lost some money on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. But that doesn't mean I can't get it back with the Super Bowl. Getting ready next week. Super pumped. Guys, make some money, not only on the Super Bowl, but on anything sports related on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Go download it and use code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and you're going to get $200 in free bets instantly only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void in Ohio. See show notes for more details. Shawn, it's still a week away, but do you have a DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week for Super Bowl Sunday?
Ooh, no, I do not.
It's easy. It's easy, Shawn. The DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week is simply Chiefs money line.
Oh, well,
it's simply Chiefs money line at plus money.
Oh, yeah, come on. Yeah, plus 105. I wanted to give a fun novelty prop. I think my favorite
Are you
novelty
gonna say the octopus
prop.
again?
No.
Okay.
No. Because the octopus probably won't hit. I like the jersey number. The jersey number of the first touchdown scorer. I like it over 11.5. Over 11.5 plus 105. Get Travis Kelce Seems easy.
Who do you get? You get Kelsey.
You get Kelsey. You get
over 11?
11.5. So you get under 11.5 would be AJ Brown. But over 11.5, you get Miles Sanders. You get Christian McCaffrey. You get Debo.
Christian McCaffrey.
Jesus. Whoa, where am I going? What is happening?
You're in the wrong game.
What just happened there?
You definitely take lower because there's Hurts. There's Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
There's AJ Brown.
Yes.
There is
Isaiah Pacheco.
Jerick McKinnon. Like there's a lot. Yeah, Jerick McKinnon's a Chief.
Wait, what number is he?
He's number 1.
Oh, well, I didn't think he was 25. Yeah, but over you get the best. I think the best pass catcher in the game in Seattle.
Yeah.
Jesus, why do I keep saying Christian
McCaffrey?
McCaffrey?
I thought you were saying CD. Yo, what are you doing right now?
I don't know, bro.
All right, Chiefs money line. That's the DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week.
My DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week is over 11.5 for the number of the first touchdown score. Give me, and you know what? You might as well just bet on Travis Kelce first touchdown score.
Why not?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Guys, again, minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void in Ohio. See show notes for more details.
If you hit on some of your props, you'll have all this extra money to spend on beer. And not just any beer. The beer of the gods. And by the gods, I mean Totri and I.
Yes, of course, because that's what we are.
We are gods. It's Four Peaks. Spend all that money on Four Peaks. And you could spend their money specifically on some new beers that they have. The Recreational Juice Dank IPA or the Staycation Super Juicy IPA. We have a lot of IPA fanatics here, and they have spoken pretty highly of these new IPAs. I haven't had a chance to try them yet, so I have to take them for their word. But if it's Four Peaks. I've never had a bad Four Peaks.
No, not at all.
Ever. So check them out. And the Super Bowl's right around the corner, so it's the perfect time to get you some Four Peaks. As I like to say, Four Peaks.
Get it in you.
Get it in you.
21 plus and drink responsibly, guys. Let's get into bottle service. Why don't we? I think there is only one right answer for tonight's game.
Well, I mean, you can make an argument for somebody else, but yeah.
You sounded like the kid from Wild Thornberries. DJ Horne's getting bottle service tonight. 18 points, 4 boards, and 3 steals. Honestly, man, great night for DJ. I think it was going to be it's going to be big for him, hopefully, moving forward through the rest of the season, because you talk about the way he struggled offensively over the last few games. Tonight, to almost break that 20-point margin, just absolutely huge for him. And I think the other guy that you're referring to possibly getting bottle service was mid-range Lou.
Yeah, but no, DJ needed this game. I think especially when you put it in the context of what DJ has been going through over the last few games and his inability to produce any kind of offense. It was big for him to have this night. I mean, we said it on the last post-game show we did. We needed more from DJ.
Yeah.
And I think fans were wanting more from DJ. You heard a lot of calls for him to be benched in favor of Austin Nunez. Although at this point, if you're going to bench anybody, if you're going to bench him for anybody, it would be Luther Muhammad. But regardless, he needed to have a performance like this. And it's the only reason that the team was in it. It was even in this game because, like we talked about, the Cambridge brothers didn't really show up. And when that happens, it's going to be hard to win games. And the only reason it was even close was because of DJ. But yeah, I mean, Luther definitely deserves. He's in the section, like he's in the booth.
Oh yeah,
DJ.
Oh yeah,
100%. Sure. Like, I mean, you get what was it, 12 points off the bench, and the 8 that he had, and the way he got them in the first half.
The team's third leading scorer tonight, wasn't he?
Yes, yeah. Behind
Frankie
DJ with
DJ.
18 and Frankie with 13. Yeah.
Hey man, I'd love to see mid-range Lou get some more minutes because we know he is one of the team's best defenders. And when he's scoring like he did tonight, by all means.
Well, yeah, and I mean, the reality is we were talking about it earlier with producer Damon. He's one of the only guys on this team that you could trust, like in ISO, creating his own shot.
Yeah.
The other guys just don't. You don't have anyone else on this team that can do that. And if Luther is playing the way he is tonight, he needs to be on the court way more. Especially if you're getting another game from Austin Nunez where he's getting 0 points.
Did he take a shot again?
No, he did not.
His second straight game.
But you have 4 guys get minutes. Him, Enoch, Jeremiah Neal, and Duke Brennan all go.
I don't want to ever hear Enoch deserves minutes come out of your mouth again after what I saw tonight. In the past, you have.
Well, I did at the beginning before the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and this goes back to what I've been saying these last few games. And you haven't been hearing it as much recently, but screw all this 10 deep shit. It's not. You had 4 guys didn't even attempt a shot. come off the bench. Like,
look, let's get real for a second. You have 4 games, and the games that you have upcoming, right? The games that we've already talked about in Stanford, Cal, Colorado, and Utah. Let's assume you win those 4. Mm-hmm. You're not out of the woods. By like at that point, you are just keeping it alive. You have to, at this point now, you beating USC is not a much. Wow, that was not English. Is not enough. You have to beat either UCLA or U of A. And if you don't,
starting to think that, yeah,
then you have to be at least, I think, in the Pac-12 championship game.
Yeah, you're getting very close to that territory. I think you got to see kind of what Utah does. Like, I'm interested to see how impressive of a win a Utah win would be once we get there. I mean,
I'm not even convinced they could do it though.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, regardless, like they've lost 2 straight now. They'll presumably lose at least 1 more because they play Arizona right before they play us. So I'm not sure how impressive that UCLA or a Utah win would even be at the end of the season.
But it's just another dub.
I will say that the blowout of Oregon earlier in the season is looking better and better.
Yeah.
So shout out y'all.
But again, it doesn't really matter because at this point, right? These are we've talked about a couple weeks ago, specifically when they lost to USC. Why that USC loss was bad was because you get to the end of the season and you're looking at teams to get bids. Now that team has that head-to-head over you, right? So you look at this game, and I still think the ASU win over Oregon on the road was a better win than Oregon's win tonight at the FA.
They blew out Oregon, but, and Oregon went on to blow out Arizona right after. So yeah,
and it doesn't matter though. That doesn't like matter for ASU. I feel like because you look at that matchup, right, and you've got but ASU hasn't beaten U of A.
Yeah,
Oregon has.
Yeah,
Oregon's got better wins. Oregon right now has the head-to-head in my mind. If it comes down to a bid in the big dance, it's you take Oregon, you take USC. You take Utah, I still think, UCLA, Arizona. 5 teams right now in the Pac-12 that you could probably pretty easily say deserve bids over the Sun Devils.
Oh, I mean, yeah, undeniably. I don't think you can argue at this point that obviously UCLA, U of A, USC all are in it right now. And yeah, Utah and Oregon certainly seem closer than ASU does right now. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can completely change your fate over those last 3 games of the season. So, like, we're not, I guess, necessarily at a point where you're relying on what you do in the Pac-12 tournament. But if the rest of the games go the way we think they are going to go, it does seem you're now at a point where you make a splash in the tournament or you are hosting a game in the first round of the NIT.
Absolutely. Couple things. We've got Shane waiting on deck. Let's hold off on bringing him in. Just right now, before we bring Shane in to get all the latest at DFA, I want to tell you guys about Burrito Express. Okay, I know if BE was still open, Shane would be stopping there on his way home. Unfortunately, they close at 3 o'clock, but guess what? They open bright and early tomorrow. You guys can go check them out. They got locations all over the valley. You said you tried the steak, egg, and you added bacon today.
I did add bacon, add the cheese, hold the tomatoes.
What do the streets say?
I mean, hell to the streets. I'm saying it's the best damn burrito of all time.
It is. Absolutely, guys. Burrito Express is the place to go. And if you guys buy a $25 Burrito Express gift card, they're going to give you a free burrito. They're literally giving you food when you spend money. It's phenomenal, guys. Head over to your nearby Burrito Express location today and give them a follow on social at Burrito EXP.
That $25 Burrito Express gift card would make a pretty good Valentine's Day gift.
Oh, yeah. Would it? Would it now?
You know, everyone wants to give a lot of hype to, roses and chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm more
what goes well with roses and chocolate?
I'm more of a Burrito Express and good sex kind of guy.
Oh, there we go.
To be honest with you. And if you're like me and you want to have good sex on Valentine's Day, check out the one, the only Roman. If you I'll let you know. This is no judgment zone. Man to man, every time sometimes every once in a while you go through things. You have a tough at bat.
Yeah, it happens.
So you got to throw a little extra pine tar on the bat the next time. You know what I'm saying? Roman's the source of that pine tar. Specifically, their wipes that can help you last a little longer. if you're not gonna get a hit, at least make the pitcher work for it, right? Follow a couple off. But I mean, Roman, really, for regardless of what your sexual needs are, whether it's lasting a little longer, whether it's even getting ready for the big game,
Yeah.
Roman's got you. So if you do want to get ready, Roman ready for better sex on Valentine's Day, go to row.co/PHNX today to get 20% off your entire first order. My computer turned off as I'm reading the ad, of course. Order by February 8th for guaranteed shipping in time for Valentine's Day. That's ro.co/PHNX. Don't think of it as a gift for yourself. You're not spending money on yourself. You're spending
for
money.
others.
It's for your loved one.
It's for others.
For your significant other.
There you go.
You want them to have a good Valentine's Day.
That might have been an all-timer.
Check out Roman.
Let's bring in the man that does it for us. Why don't we? Shane Diefenbach over at DFA. I'm curious to see what he has to say about all of this. Not just Roman, but the game in general.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm more interested at this point in his opinion on my read than, his opinion on my read than the game. But Shane, how are we doing?
How are we doing, Shane?
That was incredible, Shawn. I have to give you
Thank
that.
you.
That was probably the best performance that anybody put up tonight in the world, and the most players in NBA history put up 30+ points tonight ever. So
Wow,
that's saying something.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were talking about in that game. I didn't realize we're talking about the sport. I appreciate
We're talking about in life, in the
in
world,
humanity. I really appreciate
in humanity.
what'd you think of it?
Jacob in the chat. I feel like my dad just told me how babies were made. I mean, I damn near did.
What'd you think of what you saw tonight at DFA, Shane? Just straight up.
Well, before the game, I was thinking about hitting up DraftKings because the energy just seemed like the same thing, and like the layup lines, like I don't know, just getting a weird feeling. And that first half, they were leading and they were playing fine, but like didn't really feel good. And then that halftime run happened. You're like, oh God, here we go. And they just tensed up again. Luckily, I mean, the student section was great tonight. The crowd was fantastic. It was louder than I thought it was going to be, and they really helped them back in the game despite a lot of questionable calls on both sides. But still, it did kind of stir some momentum. I don't know. Today was a game. It happened, and we're through it. But you just really couldn't afford to lose this one. You just couldn't. And now you got to win out, basically.
The worst part of the loss is that they lost in the damn Black History Month jerseys. And I love the jerseys that they wore today. I love them so much. And they had a good track record in them.
I'm going to try to see if we can get them anywhere because I need my hands on one of those. It would be a great set piece for us as well.
Hey, if they sell an Austin Nunez Black History Month jersey, it's already been shipped to my house.
Yeah.
Promise.
Yeah, man. Tough tonight. DJ Horne obviously got back to scoring the way that this team needs him. We already talked about the offense a little too late tonight. In terms of Dez, we know that he is the guy that really makes this team go. Only 6 points from him tonight. Didn't even take a whole lot of shots. What'd you see from him tonight? Was it just a case of the shots weren't falling, or was there something else that you were seeing?
First, are you safe? Is the building falling apart?
Yeah. I knew there was going to be a comment on that. I believe they're putting in the bleachers. Oh yeah, they're putting seats in right now. Dez just couldn't get it going, and as I tweeted after that turnover, I don't know if you guys saw it on the TV, but the turnover, the costly turnover where it could have been an 8-point game and it turned into a 3-point game at the end of the first half. After the second he let go of that ball, he put his hands on his head and looked up. Like he was just having a bad night, and it was really getting to him. It was just one of those nights. I think people kind of forget that, not forget, but you come to expect 10 to 15 a night from him.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't happen, you're like, oh my God. But it's non-existent for 35 minutes is not good at all. I think he was just in his own head, and thankfully that one of those threes fell and kind of see him get a little loose. And I didn't mind the shots he was taking either. I don't think he took a bad shot. Some of them might have been a little rushed, but I don't think they were bad shot selections.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Especially, I mean, that last shot. I think you pair the bad shooting night with that last opportunity that the team had with a couple seconds left, and it's just a bad look. Obviously, the circumstances are what they are down the stretch there. So it is what it is. Again, Oregon winning 75-70. Let's get into aftertaste. Why don't we? Shane, let's start with you, okay? What slid down your esophagus this evening?
Like expired, like Pepto-Bismol or like
Ugh.
medicine. Like there's no other options, but you got to try it, and it doesn't work, and then you just feel even more sick after. They tried everything they could. They threw the house at it. They started pressing, and it wasn't enough. And now you're sitting here throwing up, looking at the rest of your schedule, knowing that you're just gonna have to fight through the sickness.
I feel like the last month we haven't got a post-game show without mentioning throw up or piss.
Well,
Tina?
it's almost as if ASU has lost 5 of their last 6.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tina, did you hear that? Did you hear that word that pitcher just said?
She was in the chat. She probably heard Aftertaste. She's like,
There
she goes, I'm not listening to this part. I was gonna say it's like when you lose it's like you make a bet with somebody and it's like loser has to drink a cup of like dishwater or something like that, and going into it there's a pretty good chance that I lose this, but you're hoping you're not trying to get negative. You think you're gonna win, you hope you're gonna win, and then you don't win, and you're like, I probably should have seen this coming, and then you drink it and you're like, I really didn't enjoy any of that, but I guess it's where I'm at now. I made this bet, I have to lay in it.
That's fair. I'm gonna go with just a normal cup of coffee. Except it's a two-parter because you made the coffee.
No.
You made the coffee when you beat Oregon State, and you're ready for it. You're like, it's a great way to start your morning.
I know where this is going.
You don't know where this is going, and you burn your fucking tongue the moment you take a sip of this coffee.
Okay, I apologize.
Where'd you think it was going?
Somewhere else.
I didn't know. I don't know.
Or were you going for the repercussions of your coffee? Yeah, that's where you were
there
going.
You go. Okay, I didn't even cross my mind. I was like coffee that you left there, and
for like a couple days.
You're
like, let's try this.
You had coffee. You poured a cup of coffee. You drank like half of it, and it was really good. And then you kind of forgot about it, but you didn't really quite realize how long it had been since you last drank it. So you think it's still going to be at least a little warm, and it's ice cold, and it's disgusting, and it makes you gag a little bit because you were expecting it to be warm, and it wasn't at all.
God. Well, that's all some disgusting shit. Not gonna lie to you. Let me tell you about the opposite of what we just described. Okay, Illegal Pete's, guys. Join all of our PHNX crew at Illegal Pete's Mill location this Wednesday, February 8th, starting at 7 p.m. Grab some grub, enjoy a Four Peaks beer, and hang with us. Great food, great drinks, great people at Illegal Pete's this Wednesday, guys. Again, February 8th, starting at 7 p.m. Come join us. Code word Whopper. We'll take some tequila shots with you, and we'll cry about ASU basketball as we always do.
Somebody whisper very sensually Bobby into my ear, and I'll buy you a tequila shot.
Bobby.
What? Oh, are we live? Oh. What?
I can't do it anymore, man.
I hate it here. The only good part of tonight was that I was sitting in more furniture, to be quite honest with you. Oh, fun fact. So as I'm sure you all know, I am like, you think of the greatest athletes of all time.
Yes.
Wayne Gretzky,
Shawn
Michael
DePaz.
Jordan, Michael Phelps, Shawn DePaz. Obviously. I was doing some high kicks around the office earlier. Why? The weather was nice. Are you not? Naturally, you high kick.
Yeah.
You got a lot of energy, you high kick. I kicked a little too high. I got airborne, came down, rolled my ankle.
Ooh.
Ankle, little sore right now. I'm not gonna lie. And you're wondering, this started with a more furniture ad read. How did you get to your ankle? Well, because as Lindsay was walking up for the Suns game, she was like, you need to elevate that. And I was like, that's a good point. And then I realized I was sitting in a more furniture recliner. I quite literally elevated my ankle. Like I lifted that shit all the way up and I elevated my ankle because more furniture is the best furniture on the planet. Again, screw the streets. I'm telling you. More Furniture is the best furniture on the planet. Check them out. Go to morefurniture.com. That's morfurniture.com. You can get white glove delivery service. You don't even got to do anything. If you also are an athlete, I know that most of y'all might not be able to relate, but if you're an athlete like me, you hurt your ankle, you don't want to have to go get furniture, bring it up the stairs. White glove delivery service. They'll deliver it right to your house, right for you. That's morfurniture.com.
Is that like Dez just pulling up shots?
Stop it. It's Dez now. At least he didn't say DJ.
No, it's Bobby Hurley Jr. punching the walls of DFA.
Well, so something you might not have noticed because you were there, obviously, is when Bobby got his tech, you could see, because Bobby Jr. is usually always around Bobby when he's yelling at the ref, so he can kind of, calm his dad down. He got there a little late today. He got there late, and you see him enter the screen right as Bobby gets his tech, and he kind of just throws his hands up.
Like he was too late.
Did you guys see my tweet during that sequence?
I did not.
I was typing on my computer and I tweeted, Bobby definitely going to get a tech here in the next couple minutes. And then right when I sent it, he got a tech, and I was
Right
and
on
I
cue.
said, check that next couple seconds. I was surprised he didn't get tossed tonight. Have we talked about the officiating? Can we do that?
Listen, I
Let
mean,
it out.
yes, Pac-12 refs are terrible,
But we've been known this.
I feel like as I said earlier before you joined, at a certain point, this team does not deserve the benefit of the doubt anymore because they constantly refuse to press the issue and get to the line. Now, at times, obviously, the refs the Pac-12 refs going Pac-12 ref, and they suck. But it's like I just don't know that they have earned the right to be getting some of the calls that they think they should.
No, and I wasn't referencing it as in the foul discrepancy. This team never wins a free throw battle. They just don't.
Yeah.
They never have more free throws than the other team. That's not what I'm referencing. A lot of what I was talking about was my least favorite thing in sports, but specifically basketball, is when refs kind of take over a game. And there was a 4-minute stretch there where they just did. There were 5 fouls in a row in under a minute. The crowd was going crazy. Some of them were fouls, and some of them were a little questionable. The Des Cambridge block on the oop. I didn't see the replay, but from where I was sitting, it didn't even look close to a foul. The one that was really glaring that I think really, really hurt ASU, and I don't know if they win this game if this doesn't happen, but there was a sequence with about 2 minutes, maybe 3, 4. It was in crunch time, and ASU was on their run, and they were pressing, and DJ had a chance to steal a ball, and he didn't get there, and the ref put his hand up like this, which usually signals a stoppage of play. Somebody's out of bounds, or there's a turnover, whatever. He put his hand up. DJ saw that, and he looked, didn't blow the whistle, and he put his hand down. That can't happen. That just can't happen. It stopped the play for at least one player, and I thought it was a little embarrassing. Bobby, talked about it a little tonight, and he said, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get in any more trouble than I'm already going to be in. But he said it was a circus. And I do tend to agree with him. And as he said, and I agree with, it's not the reason why they lost the game, but it's just a little embarrassing when you see a ref on a power trip.
Yeah. It is definitely frustrating. But like Cy Guy 06 in the chat, at the end of the day, the refs aren't shooting the basketball. They
Absolutely not.
They can't take the lead. So it is definitely frustrating. And I know this is not at all what you are doing, but I know a lot of ASU fans like to point at the refs and blame them for all of their problems. This team has lost 5 of their last 6 games.
Can't put it all on the refs.
You can't. Sure, the refs didn't help, but
gotta be better.
The ASU, it's a team that you beat by 20 points, whatever it was earlier in the year. You have to be better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say on that is the refs didn't cause the run that got ASU in the hole in the first place.
Correct.
There were no bad calls there, and they haven't, as you said, caused them to lose 5 of the last 6.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like we got to say this like once every post-game show. Be nice in the chat. We appreciate the U of A fans that are here supporting us.
We do. Bear down cats, seriously, poverty ASU fans don't get it. It's actually entertaining listening to these guys. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Shane, it's been a minute, but let's get into the lyric of the game. Why don't we?
Sorry, I have to keep muting and unmuting myself because it feels like I'm in a war zone. It's time for the lyric of the game.
Do.
Thanks. Lyric of the game comes from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Free Falling. You know how the song goes. Everybody sing along. Free falling, free falling.
He's
you know
so
what
sad.
I'm saying. Yeah. This team's okay. Thank you. Go ahead. Take it away.
Free falling. Okay. There's no way a song can come up and I can't belt that.
If this was a winning environment, I'd probably join you guys.
Yeah, that's fair. You're actually in public. We're not.
Yeah. This team is in a complete free fall right now. I don't know what else to say. 5 of the last 6, and it's not getting any better. Obviously, everybody knows the schedule we have ahead, and it's going to be tough. And now they go on the road again. You just got to turn things around. Luckily, DJ was in good spirits after the press conference, so not everybody's ho hum, but also DJ was one of the only players that played well tonight. So
yeah. And I will say, I think we talked like last season, for example, there was that point where they were supposed to get right. They had some games there at the end of non-conference play. They were supposed to get right. The FAMU game gets canceled because of the DFA being a piece of shit, and they lose that chance to get right, and then they struggle going into conference play. Well, it's still conference play, but comparatively to the rest of the conference, there is a chance to get right here. You play Stanford.
Cal.
Stanford, Cal, and Colorado. All three teams that two that are definitively worse than you, and one team that you beat already this season. Again,
yeah, but wasn't that your get right game yesterday on Thursday? Wasn't that the one? Didn't we say that? Like,
yeah, but
it should have already happened.
I'm saying now you have a stretch of games you can put together a good performance. Oregon's a good team.
Yeah.
Oregon is anti-ASU in the sense that they started really slow, but we knew they had talent, and now they are playing like that. These are three teams that
you still should have won this game.
No, 100%. I agree. I agree with you, but I'm saying this was always going to be a close game.
I don't think you should have won this game. I think you needed to win this game,
and I think you could have won the game. I don't think it was like
Oregon's. It wasn't
Oregon State. Like Oregon, Oregon's a hot team. They're been playing good basketball. But I mean, I know what you're saying. They should have won this game. I think they're a better team than Oregon, but they're playing three teams.
They're a better team than Oregon, and they were at home. They should have won this game.
No, 100%. But now you're playing three teams that are, I think, a different tier than ASU. Stanford's a little, as we've talked about, interesting, but generally speaking, different tier than ASU. You have a chance to string together three good wins, and then you play a Utah team that is similar to Oregon in the sense that, they're probably on the same tier as you, but a game that you should win. You have a chance to string together 4 really good wins and then play these hard games. And if you can string together those 4 wins and do them in not necessarily convincing fashion, but a fashion that instills some kind of confidence in ASU fans, all of this can not be forgotten because you're still going to affect your resume and all that, but it can be rectified if you're playing good basketball going into it. So you have a massive opportunity here.
Absolutely. I mean, while we're talking about what's ahead, we might as well get to the Bobby board so we can take a better look as to what the remainder of ASU's schedule looks like. Obviously, only a handful of games left for this team to really add to its resume. We've already talked about the upcoming slate of Stanford, Cal, Colorado, and Utah. And we start the last row of the Bobby board here after tonight's loss to Oregon. For me, at this point, kind of to your guys' point, you got to win the next 4. And like I said before you got here, Shane, I feel like you almost have to win 2 of those last 3.
Yeah, but now your nightmare is gone, Totri. There's no pattern. Right. You can't lose 10 in the last row.
God, that would have been awful.
Stanford's gonna be tough, man. Stanford's really hot. You really need that game. If you win that game, then there's still hope. If you lose that game, you need to win the Pac-12 tournament. I'm saying it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to win the next 4, I think, and then maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Joe says in the chat that we should mix it up and make it the Bobby Jr. board, and I guess it still would be the Bobby board.
I might have
to mix it a Bobby face.
Next season, for any game that Bobby Hurley Jr. gets minutes, his face should replace
we'll do Bobby Jr. instead of Bobby. And Bear Down Cats in the chat says that he thinks ASU is going to beat USC on the road. Not UCLA, but USC. I appreciate that confidence. And listen, I think obviously out of those big 3 at the end, USC is the most winnable game. They themselves are on a lower tier than UCLA and U of A. So I mean, it's not out of the picture.
No.
But they are also one of the hottest teams in the country right now.
For sure.
They are so good.
Like I said, for ASU, there's a lot of games between now and then. For sure. See how they are playing at that point.
Before we get you guys out of here, Shane, you said you had some notes for us.
Oh, I'm going to save that until next week.
Together?
Because I'm going to be gone for another week, so I'll take more notes. But I do have one that's just a pressing issue that I just kind of need to get out of there. Shawn, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That was deserved.
At least I'm consistent.
Yeah, he told you. He told you. It is what it is. Guys, if you enjoyed the content,
actually, I don't know what specific comment that is referencing to. It might be referencing multiple.
Well, that's the point.
Okay, I got you.
There was 3 moments.
Hey, we did end by saying that we missed you and needed you. Or did you not get to the end of the Friday show?
No, you did. But you know what you ended the end of the Thursday show with?
What?
The shows without Shane are kind of good.
I didn't say that. Totri said that.
They kind of hit. Yeah. But you guys are a team.
But at the end of it, we realized you can't fault us for where we were in the beginning. At the end, we realized that we needed you and we missed you.
Well, but at the end of fair enough.
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing about the game before we get out of here? I wrote this down in my little pink notebook, and I wanted to say this. This was really funny, and I thought it was the most over-encompassing thing I've ever seen for a basketball team. At the 12-minute mark in the first half, I think if one play were to define an entire year, it would be this one. Dez throws the ball over Gaffney's head. We remember this?
Yes.
Gaffney goes and thinks it's going to go out of bounds, so he just kind of sits there. And then he's like, oh, shit. Starts sprinting, whatever. Great hustle, gets a block. Awesome. Ball comes down off the rim. DJ grabs it and goes, oh, no, and drops it out of bounds. Like, it's just like, they'll make a mistake. Oh, look at this play. They lost it.
I
And
distinctly remember that moment.
It's tough, man.
Because I remember the play was going the other way, and I'm like, it's fine. This is a block. Because ASU does that a lot of times. They block it, and then that excitement's immediately gone. Anything you were excited about, kiss it goodbye, because they just let it literally slip through their fingers. Yeah, that's a very good point. Very encompassing.
Shane, quick last thing. Gotta know before we get you out of here. I don't need an explanation.
No.
I just need.
Nope.
Okay.
Huh?
He's not gonna let me date his daughter.
Oh.
Would you let Shawn?
It's Black History Month. Remember that.
What the fuck does that have to do with this?
Just saying.
Answer wisely, Shane.
I said, please, no. Come on.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I thought you said,
I don't want
please date my daughter.
Okay, I'm going to give an explanation for Shawn.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't want my daughter airing out all of her trauma at the dinner table. That's just not what I want. So let's
That's fair. But at least we would have good communication.
But you know what? You know what would be good, Shawn, is I think you would make her more in touch with herself. But she would just be a little too in touch with herself. And if she's ever on a podcast,
that's because Shawn's over here using Roman.
Whoa. Now you're talking about me using Roman.
Hey, are you talking about my daughter, Totri?
On that note, guys, if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me on social at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Shane at Shane Deef. You can follow Shawn DePause at Shawn_DePause.
I mean, I feel like I have to. A fan of good sex as always.
We will see you guys Monday live at 2 p.m. But for now, peace.